Hello. Hey guys, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good
You can go
morning.
ahead and log into Pear Deck FWDSP. Hopefully it's on the screen. Hello, Nathaniel.
Hello.
Your voice is deeper.
I don't really know about that, but
It is. It's getting deeper. If y'all go to joinpd.com and it's FWDSP. Morning. I'm logging in myself. Hey, Angelo and Ashley, Betty, Chloe.
hello.
Hey, Josie.
Hi.
Hey, Josiah and Kylie. Hey, Liam. Hey, Pickle. Hey, Michaela. Hey, Permita. All right, give you about 30 seconds. Joinpd.com, FWDSP. Hey, Jayla. She's not all the way in yet. Again, if you haven't logged in on the Pear Deck, go ahead and do so, please. How's that banana, Michaela?
Good.
Turn this over to here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start the slide. So the first thing is this is our last day on surface volume and surface area. We're going to start composite figures tomorrow. So on here, this slide is got a different question on it. So on the filling the bucket, what's an assignment type that you like? And at the bottom, one kind that's a struggle for you. It doesn't have to be about it being hard, just being able to get to it or use it online. So we may have to switch to start using Microsoft Teams because my Zoom is starting that same stuff again today. So hopefully it won't crash, but just saying. Okay. So quizzes I hear is a struggle. SS chapters. Brain Pop is good. Ed puzzles are good. All right. Next up, a couple reminders about as we go through, make sure you keep your mute on unless you're talking like everybody is so we don't get feedback. Please make sure that through the lesson you're focused on what we're doing because it's only for like 20 minutes of actual focused learning. And then make sure you're participating with the Pear Deck, okay? Nothing you need to write. I just wanted to point that out. All right. If you'll just say yes, yes, no, no, whichever, just yes or no's on those three questions so I can just know if you're good. So first, the volume activity on Nearpod. Number 2, the practice math. Number 2 on MobyMax. And number 3, that you're up on your Ed puzzles. So just 3 yeses or no's. Alrighty. So today we're talking about the volume of a cylinder. And the first question on the side, if you will write in the column, what is your definition of a cylinder? And then on the other side, number 2, what is your definition of a cone? I think I said cylinder. We're going to talk about volume of a cone is what I meant to say. So let me hear what you know about those 2.
Can you repeat that?
Yes, I will. So just what you know. If you don't, that's okay too. All right, 15 seconds, and I'm going to share a couple of slides because this is what we're about to talk about. And you can probably give me an example in real life of both, and that's what I'm going to show a couple of slides of. So this person said that a cylinder is a can, like a vegetable canned good item shape, and that the cone would be like an ice cream cone. That's correct. Let's see here. We have that has a circle base, and the cylinder goes straight up, and then on a cone it goes up to a point. So that is the big difference in the two. That how they're connected. So with that being said, will you tell me in the box in the middle, what do they have in common? What is it they have in common?
Mr. B, it's taking a second to load my canvas.
Okay.
It's bad.
If it doesn't, you just want to text me on. So let's say 15 more seconds on that.
Mr. P, I might just text you my answers instead because.
No problem. That's fine.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, this person says they both have flat bottoms, bases, that's correct. A little more to that is that they both have a circular base, and that's correct. I noticed on the slide before this, people use the word oval. If it's oval, it wouldn't be a cylinder or a cone. It would have to be an actual circle. So they do have in common that they both have a circle base. That's the only thing they have in common, but that is the correct response. They have in common a circular base. Do they have to be resting on the base? No, they do not. All right, so let's look at these three shapes. You don't need to write anything, but let's just take a notice. So a pyramid had a connection to a prism. You'll remember that a prism, you get the base area times how tall it is for the volume. And then for the pyramid, you did the same thing, but you did 1/3 of it, right? So when you were doing the, let me put my annotation up here. So when you did the pyramid, you did 1/3 of the volume, right? In the formula. Well, in a cone, you're going to do the same thing. In a cone, you're going to treat it as if it's a cylinder. You're going to get the area of the circle times how tall it is, but you're just going to do 1/3 of its volume. So what that means is that just like a pyramid would fill up 3 times the same height and base for a prism, a cone would do the same thing. So if I had a cone with a circular base that matched a can, I'm drawing a blank on it, what's the word? Word just went out of my head. If it matched, I'm removing somebody that's a spammer from the deal. Somebody was trying to get in. All right. So back to what I was saying. So if I were to take a cylinder and it had the same base as a cone, the circle was the same, and they were the same height, when I did the volume, whatever the volume of the cylinder was, the cone would be exactly 1/3 of it. So it's the same idea, just like the pyramid was. Hey, Courtney, are you in there? Your thing keeps coming back that you're not in. So that's the formula. Now, do you think a sphere that looks like a basketball would have a similar idea like
Mr.
a cone? Yes.
That was my brother that was trying to get in, not a spammer.
Okay. Well, it said catfish, so that's why I didn't let him in.
Oh, I changed my name.
Oh, he accidentally changed his name last night on a personal Zoom.
Yeah, well, you know why I can't let somebody in if I don't
Yeah,
see
yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know that it was okay.
Yeah, if he can fix it and rejoin, I'll join him back in. All right. So would a sphere have some kind of idea that it's a part of a cylinder? And the answer is yes. So it would be, there's a formula for a sphere that's based on the same circumference of the circle of a cylinder, but we're not doing that today. We're just doing cones. Okay, so here is a cone. Here are the things about a cone that are important to know. The top, let me pull up my annotation. Come here, annotation. All right, at the top, we call this the vertex. Okay, a vertex is defined as a point at which more than one line comes to share the same point. So that's the vertex. All right, this would be a vertex down here too, but we don't need it for this. All right, the base would be just the literal circle down here, right? The radius is important because why? Could someone tell me why the radius is important?
Because you're going to need to.
It's used in the
Where?
formula.
Wait, say again.
You need the radius to find the diameter.
Okay, you need the well. If you're doing surface area, you want the diameter to get the circumference. But if I'm doing the area of the base, I also need the radius because I need to square it times pi, right? To get the area. But yeah. Slant height versus height.
So basically, the slant height is not used because it is longer than the right height.
So if I draw this down through here, that's longer than if I do the perpendicular measure to the base.
Correct.
And that's correct, okay? So of the things there, the things I would need to know is I would need to know the radius and I would need to know the height. Those are the things I'd need to know. Okay, I've got a couple late people coming in, so hang on just a second to let them in. So I would need that. If I gave you the slant height, could you give me the volume? The answer would be no, without some more information. Because, well, so where would the slant height be important? Where might I use the slant height? And you probably like, I don't know, but.
Would you use it for surface area?
Yes, who said that? Kylie? Yes,
Kylie.
that's exactly right. So that would be important to know if I were doing surface area, but we're doing volume with this. By the way, what would the net for a cone look like? What do you think the net for a cone would look like?
Answer it on the slide or
Yes, please.
ask.
Yes, you should be able to draw that on the slide. What do you say you think that a net of a cone would look like? Izzy, are you able to get in? All right, so let's see here. Again, you won't see anybody's names. All right. Can you see what that person's getting at? I do. Okay. Here's another person who's looking at that. It looks like and let's say here's a cone with the same exact radius over here. So let's say, for instance, they are 4. I would calculate square the 4 because that's his radius, which is 16. 16 times 3.15, and then I'd go times 8, and that'd be the volume of the cylinder. The only difference for figuring out the cone is you would say area of the circle times the height and get a third of it. So I've highlighted that in yellow there. So you don't need to write anything on that slide, but that's how you get the volume of a cone. Okay, so let's do this one together. So on the slide, I've given you the steps, and if you will go ahead and calculate it and then write your answer in the blank. And I'm reminding you at the bottom that to get the area of a circle, you need to square the radius times pi. And I'm also reminding you that 1/3 multiplied is the same as divide by 3. So those are just little reminders. So go ahead and figure out what would be the volume of that particular cone.
Whew.
All right, do I have a volunteer who'd like to? I'm going to go inside because there's a machine over there. Hang on.
Zoom's really been acting up lately.
Say again?
Zoom's really been acting up lately.
Yep, it has. Okay, if I could have a volunteer that would care to tell us how you got your answer.
A season that reminds us that no matter how dark and cold and how colorless our world gets, there is always a spring. Wow.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Okay, who would share how you got your volume?
Mm-hmm.
I can.
Okay, thank you.
So what I did, I just did 3.14 times 4
Why?
because that's how you, because it says on the cones that's how you get the volume, and you have to do everything in parentheses first.
Perfect. That's
And I
right.
got 12.56, and then I got 12.56 times 8.
Yep.
And I did 100, and I got 100.48. And then I did that divided by 3, and I got 33.49, 3 continued.
Yep. So you should get an answer that would look like that. So I'm going to hit the screen here. So here you go. And just going down through there. So you're exactly right. Not hard. The biggest deal with all these formulas is just remembering when do I do what, right? That's what it's about.
Guys, remember.
Okay, I'll take that as a.
Almost every other day. Well, of course, it quit doing that when you walked in. Well, of course, it quit doing that when you walked in.
Do the right thing, even if nobody's watching, or in this case, hearing.
Mason, you guys okay?
Yeah, we're fine. Life is great.
Well, but I'm pointing it out because it's not appropriate for class.
So, Mr. P, when you're muted like that, you weren't able to hear us, correct?
No.
Okay. Are you able to see what we say in chat?
I'm not looking.
Okay.
Are people being inappropriate?
No, we're actually trying to be like, well, you're cutting out in the chat, so that way you know.
Gotcha.
So I'm just wondering if you're seeing our messages about that.
So here's what's happening. So that's why I'm saying we may have to start using Microsoft Teams because I get all these error messages in blocks across my screen and you can't make them move away. They just lock your computer up, so I can't do anything. All I've got is
Okay.
my phone that I can look at Pear Deck from.
Okay.
And all I see is Melis has been able to answer, so I'm waiting on the rest of the answers. You all can't.
Hey guys, my brother got new Pokemon cards.
We didn't hear you ask the question.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you should have a slide that's up that says, what is the volume of the cone now with a radius of 3? It still has a height of 8, but a radius of 3. So if you could answer that on this slide. Let me see if I can get chat up because I couldn't even get the chat to come up. Now I can. All right, so let's look at some of the answer choices we have. So we know the number's got to be bigger than before when it was like 33 point something because we got a bigger radius, right? So this has 75 and 36 hundredths for the volume. Also there. Same thing here. So do I have a volunteer that would tell us how did you get 75 and 3600 cubic inches? Remember, it's cubic inches because this would be volume, right? Who would like to share how you got that?
I can.
Thank you.
So what I did first, I did 3.14 times 9, and I got 28.26.
Okay.
And then I got 28.26, that answer, times 8, and I got 226.08.
Yep.
And then I got that answer and divided it by 3, and I got 75.36 cubic inches.
Sounds good. All right, so we will stop there for today. And if you want to play, we're going to play a game after this. Come back. But again, I'm going to have to restart my computer all the way from hard boot to get Zoom to quit glitching out. So again, I'll come back on as soon as I can get it restarted. Okay. All right. See you guys.
See you guys.
Later. And don't forget, there's the Gim Kit for 6th grade at 2:00 today.
And what is the Gim Kit? What, are we playing Gim Kit or
After
Kahoot?
this, we're going to, oh, no, the game we're playing in just a minute is Quizzes.
Oh.
Are you
okay.
raised to the middle?
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, to be different. Okay, see y'all in a few.
See ya.
Equals.